Was really proud of our weekend. I think facing Grand Valley in their hometown, and I know it was a different location, but it's still a home to them. Being able to compete at the level that we did, I was really proud of how we came back from being down, losing a lead, and the different ups and downs throughout the game. Thought our responses were really good. Different players stepping up at different times in streaks. Brenna and Zibby being able to get through the last 5 minutes of regulation as well as the 5 minutes of overtime, both with 4 fouls. Both had been out of the game for a few minutes going into that stretch where we couldn't play them because of 4. And then the people that filled those spots in the meantime. So as a whole, I think the team really did come together. I think they figured out who needed to step up at what time. We made some big shots, had some really big stops down the stretch, and were able to take advantage of our opportunity. I think mentally you have to be you have to be really strong, and you have to get over any mistake that you made, and you have to get over anytime somebody scores on you, because if you don't, they're going to pound you into the ground. And for even, using Brenna and Zibby as another example, getting through those 4 fouls and being able to play at a high level and be able to stay in the game. Hannah Stoll knocking down a huge shot. Zibby going from not having a great first half and then being in foul trouble to hitting some big shots down the stretch. Offensive rebounding by our guards. Kelly Guy getting us through the first part of the game. I just think we had to handle a lot, and they were throwing, both teams. I mean, it was a highly competitive game. It was fun to play in, but it's the ability to stay composed and finish that I hope is a sign of maturity of our team. I'm not sure if I thought about Saturday being more important than Thursday. But at the time, you're thinking Saturday is going to be a telling game on how we're going to play and how we approach the game and whether or not we're going to play for ourselves. And I think the team proved that was what they were willing to do and wanted to do. They approached that game like it was Grand Valley. And I again, we're talking about, is that a sign of maturity? Is that a sign of us growing up? Because that's an improvement even from 2 weeks into the season when we had a similar situation record-wise. But we made a change this week, and I think that was really important for our team to see and be able to play at that high level. Again, for another 40 minutes, we had some really good minutes from our bench. Really important time that they were able to spend on the floor in intense game minutes for extended periods of time, which I think is going to help us moving forward. Lindsay's been such a huge part of what we've been doing, and it's in every facet of the game. It is guarding the other team's top guard. It is guarding in the post sometimes. It is getting a huge steal when you need to. It is responding to we had a 2-minute stretch that wasn't very good against Purdue Northwest to start the game, and we went through a timeout, and her response to how we were playing, she single-handedly controlled the next 6 possessions on both ends of the floor and just set the tone for her team. And that's, all the points are amazing, the assists are unbelievable, the rebounds are, oh my goodness, but it's the attitude and the will to win and again make that change that has been so impactful for her teammates and for our staff and for our team. Oh, Northern is another huge rivalry. Always a tough game down there. We've really struggled on their floor for the past couple of years, or 3 out of the last 4. But it's just, they control the tempo of the game. They control the pace of the game, and they're in full control. It doesn't matter what you try to do. So any scoring discrepancies are really hard to make up, and I think that's what's happened to us the past couple of years. They are, and they're big. They have a couple few that are 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", and everybody does everything. Their guards post up, their post players shoot threes. So in looking at all the teams that they played that we've played, they go into double overtime with Grand Valley. We go into overtime, and a lot of things are similar as far as comparing that. But it's a rivalry game, so we don't. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a really competitive game, and we're excited for the opportunity. They are very good defensively. They are big. They are in all the passing lanes. It's hard to determine whether or not you should shoot or whether you can drive because you're driving into 6'4", and again, their guards are bigger bodies. So, we have to be confident in what we do offensively.